Hey guys, I'm going to be doing a quick demo about negative painting, which is what you're reading in our book is about. So this is a way of painting basically around an object rather than painting the object itself. So here I've done a wash of, it was wet into wet, just cadmium red, cadmium yellow, which in your case is the gamboge yellow, and some crimson, just really wet. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my paintbrush, a small one, because now I'm doing kind of details around my leaves. So that's what I'm painting. I'm painting as if I'm looking down at a bunch of fall leaves. So let's see. So I can start with the edge of my leaf here. So my leaf is going to go right into this space. So I'm kind of painting around my leaf, and then I'm going to take my brush, I cleaned it off, and I'm putting some fresh water down. And I'm softening my edges. So I'm going to keep going and try to get kind of a layer of these leaves going, as if there are some underneath. So I switched to a purple. All I did was I added ultramarine to this crimson color, crimson with a little bit of cadmium red, and ultramarine makes this purpley color. So there's a leaf underneath the initial leaf that I painted. So let me get back to my red. Maybe there's another one over here, and I'm just doing simple shapes of leaves instead of like maple and stuff like that, just for sake of time. So the idea behind negative painting, like I said, is painting around the object rather than painting the object itself. So with that in mind, you have to, unless you're painting a white object, you have to have color down already. So in your book, one of the examples was trees. So they did wet into wet, a bunch of greens and yellows, and then they started adding in some darker green shapes of leaves. Whoopsies. Okay, so once I get that one done, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna do a little bit more detail work so you can get a better idea of what is actually going on here. Okay, so then I can go in with, I'm gonna go in with a purple, and so this is my initial leaf. Let's pretend that there's a highlight, or not highlight, a shadow from the initial leaf onto the leaf that's underneath it that I just painted in. Okay, and then on the other side, there could be one too, like that. And then I could put in some veins of the leaf here. And some veins of some of the other leaves. And this is just a really quick example of negative painting. So another thing I wanted to briefly talk about when it comes to negative painting is how you might do that waterfall image that they have in the book on page 76. And so what they were doing here is painting around the water, so painting a white object. So I'm gonna really quickly do some rocks. So they used what looks like an ivory black, which I don't think you have on your palette, but so they did. So the waterfall is gonna go right here. So there's gonna be some rocks. We're gonna kind of make it look like there's some foamy water going on right over here. So for this example, I'm not really gonna worry about this area. The only thing I might do is throw in just a little bit of green, as if there's some leaves or trees or something. You can go in with with your sponge. Okay, and then let me go back to the rocks and show you how you might do water, water that's splashing. Okay, so this is the edge of my splashing water. The top of my waterfall is going to be over here. So let's pretend here's the top of my waterfall. Maybe there's some rocks up there too. And maybe there's some foaminess going on right here. So I'm painting around the water, around where there might be some splashes. Look, I can even paint around some little splashes up here, some little white spots. Okay, I'm going to take my brush and just kind of fade that out. Okay, and then on this side, so maybe there's a few more little splashes of water here. And then this is where the waterfall is. There's going to be some splashes here, so I'm painting around those. And then down at the bottom, they painted some rocks. Ooh, that's a dark rock, but we'll go with it. What you can also do is in negative painting to make it look like maybe maybe there are a lot more splashes than I can do just with my paintbrush. You can do a little bit, ooh, too much. That's all right. If that happens, just take your sponge and kind of blot it up. But that also kind of looks like foamy, some foamy water. Let's see. Okay, and then I'm going to take some blue just to finish this little demo. I'm going to take a little bit of blue and I'm going to paint within the water just a little bit. So I'm painting around where the waves might be crashing or the waterfall might be crashing. And then taking my brush and smoothing all that out. So I touched the edge of that black, which I shouldn't have, but that's okay. It started to bleed together. And then you could do some more green over here. Maybe there's some leaves or grasses or something going on over here. And so this is a quick example of how they painted the waterfall and the rocks by using the negative painting method. So you're painting around the object, you're not painting the object itself until the end, like the detail on the waterfall. It's quite a messy waterfall here. All right, so that's a messy little waterfall, but if you have questions about negative painting, because some of you might be using it in your paintings, just let me know. I can talk you through it.